So today, Uganda Road Reform Commission, in conjunction with Uganda Registration Services Bureau, have organized a consultative meeting for content creators or for people in the copyright sector to consult them on the proposed amendments or proposals for the amendment of the Copyright and Neighboring Rights Act 2016. What this Copyright and Neighboring Rights Law does really is to put in place mechanism of protecting all copyrighted works. Okay, we are talking about works in the literary sector, we're talking about musical works, we're talking about dramatic works, we're talking about computer programs. So the Copyright Act is one which does offer protection to all works of originality which are copyrightable. And from our earlier discussions, we have been able to distinguish which works are copyrightable and which one are not copyrighted. So today we are here to consult with musicians, with writers, with filmmakers, with artists on what proposals do they want to see, what changes do they want to see in the law to promote and streamline copyright protection. And one of the biggest issues is to see how do we promote the copyright industry by ensuring that works are not pirated or infringed by those who are not authorized. Two is the issue of ensuring that artists, these creators of these contents, are remunerated or receive royalties for the works that they have put out in the domain. The other issue has been the issue of do we impose private copying levy, and there seems to be a consensus that really private copying levy is necessary to compensate the authors of these works, to compensate the musicians for the works that are used in private where they cannot be remunerated. Although, of course, every proposal has the pros and cons. We have heard from the other side where saying, oh look, if private copying levy is imposed on gadgets that are used to transfer, it may increase the cost of these gadgets, and that may probably affect the very industry when it comes to those who are coming up. We have seen people overwhelmingly support the need to regulate CRBTs, or what we call coloring back tunes, to say that there is a streamlined way how these are managed, so that there is no disadvantage that goes to the creators and only having a bigger share go to the networks or to the aggregators or to government, but to have a very well streamlined way of how callback tunes are managed. We have also had very fruitful discussions in terms of management of CMOs. It came out clear that really currently the CMOs are not managing well the expectations of the artists and all the creators in this industry. We have had many issues being raised against UPRS in terms of they are not reporting back to members, in terms of UPRS owes them money which they have not remitted. So again, we are coming up with what proposals can we put in place to ensure proper management of CMOs, transparency and accountability, so that we get to satisfy the expectations of the members. And key to this has been the overwhelming support for the need to have these CMOs at regional levels, but also to have regional representation on the management and boards of these CMOs, so that the concerns of all members across the country are taken care of. The other issue has been the issue that relates to enhancing a punishment for crimes that relate to piracy and infringement of copyright. There seems to be a feeling out there that the current punishment, which is, by the way, when it comes to piracy, is a fine of 2 million shillings or imprisonment for 1 year. So there is a discontent among the creative industry that these punishments or these penalties as provided for under the law are not prohibitive. They are not deterrent enough to deter a person who is, who is infringing or is pirating copyrighted works. So they are saying, look, if I'm pirating work and I go to court, tried criminally, and I'm charged and sentenced and said, okay, for the piracy of the works I have done, pay a fine of 2 million or go in prison for 1 year. They are saying this is way below, and it's not deterrent. It doesn't really prohibit piracy. And they are saying, okay, look, maybe it's a time we have stringent and very defining sentences. They have proposed 10 years if you have had for piracy, and to at least a fine of 10 to classify them as media houses. And that is why we had UCC in Athens today. Media houses are consumers. They are users of these copyrighted works. And as they use them, they are required to pay because they are using these works. If you are on a radio station, you're supposed to pay for the works you are using on that radio. If you are a television and you are playing content, you're supposed to be paying for it. So the question has been, who should go to negotiate this payment? Should it be an individual going to receive payment from a radio station every day? Should it be an individual going to tell a television, pay me for airing out my content without my permission? So ordinarily the premises of the law would require that there is a negotiation between the individual and the media house in terms of how this work should be exploited. But the premises of the law realize the incapacity of an individual to go out there and negotiate for payment for the use from these media houses. So what does the law put in place? The law puts in place a mechanism now of saying, oh, look, bring yourselves together as individuals into one society, or what we call a collective management organization. Register your rights so that we have a harmonized collection. So that now the CMOs that you have been hearing of, the Uganda Performing Rights, the Film Federation, collect on behalf of the members, behalf of those individuals, but those individuals must be registered. So what did you gain from that? You are going to have a streamlined way that UPRS or Federation of the Film Uganda Federation, sorry, Uganda Film Federation will now at this point be the one collecting on behalf of the individuals and ultimately distribute. So we are encouraging, and the law does encourage, the use of CMOs to collect from the different media houses on behalf of the members. Because you can imagine the confusion you have. You have 500 people coming to one media house to put in claims for use of these works. But when you have UPRS coming and said, no, pay a one-off royalty for a year for playing music. Each television pay 2 million for music. Then it becomes a very well harmonized way of exploiting these works. Broadcast is a mode of exploitation. The way when they are broadcasting. So the question is, who has the right to broadcast? So definitely when you are going to do this broadcast, you must pay. So you must have sought authorization. When you see these radio stations commenting in Uganda, airing up, they have already received rights. They have already paid for use. So all commentaries and airing of these matches, and there's prior arrangements, prior agreements to which they have paid and have been authorized to use. Otherwise, they would be infringing the copyrights.